Good evening, everyone. A pleasant early summer night is underway. Skies are still mostly sunny. Later on tonight, we should see some low clouds and fog settle in, but for areas that keep the clear skies, we actually have a decent shot of seeing the northern lights or Aurora Borealis. So anytime after dark, if you have the clear skies, look off to the north on the northern horizon, and maybe you will get that nice treat. We also have some weather to talk about for tomorrow. Notice what's lurking to our west. There is a round of rain moving through the Great Lakes. That should be arriving in our neck of the woods early in the day, probably around 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And the big question we have in our minds at this point is, do we see any severe weather during the afternoon? We'll try to outline the possibility for that here in Storm Tracker. So that first line moves through during the morning. There could be some downpours and even an embedded thunderstorm. The big question is, do we get into any sun after that first line moves out? If we see any sun, that will destabilize our atmosphere. And the atmosphere is set up in a way that any storms we get in the afternoon, especially over New Hampshire, may become severe. So we're going to watch that pretty closely. That's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There's that second round. One thing I feel confident in saying, by Wednesday, we actually have a nice little stretch of weather heading our way with lower humidity and lots of sun. Should be a nice northwesterly breeze. And those of you that are disliking the humidity, you'll like our weather by Wednesday and Thursday. All right, let's talk about the severe risk here. The Storm Prediction Center down in Norman, Oklahoma, has issued an enhanced risk for severe weather areas in the red. A large portion of New Hampshire, Vermont, and western parts of Maine. In these areas here, we could see some hail, damaging winds, and even the potential for an isolated tornado. A slight risk areas in the orange and a marginal risk areas in the yellow there. We'll have a wind out of the south tomorrow. So a lot of these storms should start to fall apart as they approach the coast. Again, the big question is, do we get into sun? If we don't see any sun, well, we probably won't see any severe storms during the afternoon. Regardless, round number 1 should arrive during the morning, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. We have some wet weather moving in. There is the chance for an embedded thunderstorm here, but in its wake, we should see at least a little bit of sun try to make an appearance. That's what we're thinking here at this point. Temps should jump into the 70s and possibly even lower 80s, especially down into central and western parts of New Hampshire. If we see any of those severe storms, it will probably be in this area right here during the afternoon and early evening, probably around 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So something to keep an eye on. If any become severe, we'll let you know about them. One thing I feel confident saying, we'll likely have our highs late in the day. Highs up in the upper 70s, possibly near 80 degrees. That's about 6 p.m. Notice how a lot of these showers and thunderstorms fall apart as they approach the coastline. Our highest humidity will be late in the day tomorrow as well. Drier air will start to filter in as soon as the winds shift over to the northwest, and that will be tomorrow night. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday now. Low humidity, lots of sun, comfortable temperatures, even at the coastline. So Wednesday should be a nice beach day. Highs around 80 degrees, and the mountains are a little bit cooler. Thursday looks pretty nice as well, with highs in the 70s to possibly near 80 degrees. There's that 7-day showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow, greatest chance for severe storms in New Hampshire and over western parts of Maine. Upper 70s return. If we get into enough sun, can't even rule out low 80s in spots. Full sunshine Wednesday and Thursday, a little breeze, low humidity, a few more clouds on Friday. There's a chance for a shower, but most of the forecast is looking pretty quiet around here, after tomorrow, of course. There's your inland forecast. If anything, I guess you're not quite as warm for a few days in there, but notice those overnight lows flirting with 50 degrees there as well. All right, that's the way things look tonight. We'll have more updates coming up on Fox 23 at 10, CBS 13 at 11. And if you get any of those Northern Lights photos, we'd love to see them. Send them to me via Facebook or Twitter or my email. I'd love to use them on the air, but we'll see if that happens. All right, have a nice night.